Todd thought that you guys were going to talk to the Dreamwalker, and he wanted me to go up and just kill the Dreamwalker, and instead you guys were all murdering the Dreamwalker instead of talking to
Declan
him.
is not going to talk to the demon.
Hey, it's all right.
No, that's
It's all about adapting.
I would imagine that Jack and Theo might have wanted to talk to him.
I totally would have talked to the guy.
Declan
no.
is
I was
not
gonna
that-
put some more bullets into him.
Declan's not that guy.
Welcome to Dungeon Brew. We are going to start up another episode of our Dance of Madness, and we hope that you will join us and like and subscribe to the channel. And where we left off, we were in a fight on the train. The investigators decided to make a surprise attack on the cult, and were doing fairly well, taking out what were the people that were left, until they have met a Dreamwalker, and the Dreamwalker appeared behind Declan, hitting him. He didn't end up doing much damage, but he did kind of send Declan back a little bit away from him, and before them stands the Dreamwalker. He, to explain kind of what the Dreamwalker looks like, he has this almost canine face, but he stands up like a man, and he has hooves for feet. And he has these red eyes that are glowing, and he is wearing a robe that he can pull over to kind of conceal his face when he needs to pass around in public. But he is there before them, and they Declan at least has seen him face to face. Jack probably has not seen him because his back is turned after getting attacked by the person he thought surrendered. So we are at the top of the round. However, something begins to happen, and all of you feel this strange feeling come over you. We'll start with Declan first. Declan, as you feel this feeling come over you, you are back at a street in New York. And it takes you a moment, but you start to recognize this. This is a very, this is a hard place for you to ever forget. This is a place where you were shot. You have this person that you've brought with you. You are taking them to these individuals that are taking the people and loading them up. And you recognize now that you were dealing with the Dreamwalkers before, and you're taking a person, you are bringing them to give to them, and you see this kid being brought, and it stops you, and you see this kid being taken by a person in this hood that is moving him to be loaded up, and you decide to intervene. And you are you push the person aside that you were bringing, you race over to this person with the kid, and you kind of shove them. And as you do, they turn to you, and you grab them and you pull down their hood, and the person you now see underneath the hood is the kid. And you're staring at this kid now that you were trying to save is now under the hood, and you hear this gunshot, and you feel like the pain, and you start to fall down. And I need you to make a sanity roll.
What? I
You got this.
succeeded?
Hey, all right, good.
I never succeed on those.
All right, so now we're going to move on to Jack. Jack, you find yourself, as it kind of goes dark and it starts to clear, or you starts to clear up, you see a light towards the bottom of a door, and there's shoes and there's clothes, and you recognize this as a closet that you in the house that you lived in as a kid. And the closet had a connection between the kitchen and your parents' bedroom. And visitors had shown up to see your mom. Your mom has been sick. She's on in this bed, and some people showed up who you don't know who they are. You're not allowed to really be introduced to them. But you went this back way because you want to know what's happening to your mom, and you look underneath the crack, and you see these individuals walking in to see your mom, and you see then one of them. Others have feet, but one of them has hooves, and the hooves are going across, and it startles you. You don't know what to think of this, and as you sit there thinking about what to do because you're trying to understand what it is you just saw, you hear this voice of your mother saying, "I know you're in there. Get out here." And you hesitantly open the door, and now there's no one in there but just your mom. And you approach your mother, but you can't see her face. The covers are over her face, and you go up and you grab the covers and you start to pull down, and underneath there you see this face that you saw on the Dreamwalker underneath the covers, and it looks at you and it says, "There you are, honey. I need you to make a sanity roll."
I passed with a 77.
Yeah, 77. Awesome. All right, we'll jump to Theo next. Theo, as the darkness kind of comes over you, it comes through and you see 3 doors in front of you. And you begin to have anticipation as you approach the first door and you open it. And as you open it, you see your life continuing to serve Simon. Then you go to the next door and you open it. And you see something very different. You see a very different you. A person with lots of power, and a person who has taken a much different path. And you don't see that Simon's in your life. And then you open a third door, and as you open this third door, something just reaches out and grabs you and pulls you in through the door. And as it happens, you notice that you are before the Shadow Council, this place where people have been put for eternal imprisonment. You are taken to this altar that you've heard about this place, but you didn't actually go through the portal, so you never saw it, but you can feel it, and you know that's what it is. But there's this altar, and you're put on this altar and chained down, and you are left, and you feel your body being transformed by the shadow realm, and you are being turned into a lost soul, and your whole body is just being transformed, and you are to be lost to the shadow realm. Not locked in eternity like the Shadow Council, but just turned into one of those creatures that can haunt the shadow realm and maybe try to regain what you can with life if you ever get through. I need you to make a sanity roll. Oh,
That's
there it
a
goes.
success of 42.
Oh, nice. And that is a hard success, so good job. Simon, as the darkness kind of consumes around you, you find yourself at this party. One that looks much like one you would have thrown. And yet it's like no one is paying attention to you. They're all just focused on each other or talking to other people. You keep trying to bring them back to do something, to get their attention or to whatever, and nobody is paying attention to you. And you are getting angry, and you call for Theo, and Theo is nowhere to be found. And you see everyone's gathering to pay attention to someone, and as you approach, you actually see that everyone's watching Theo. That they are mesmerized by what he can do, and you are seeing Theo do things that you've never seen him do before, and you're kind of at a loss, and everyone else seemed to know about it, but you were kept in the dark. And this then Theo calls for his last trick, and everyone turns and finally looks at you and grabs you and pulls you to this table. And Theo begins to make cuts on you and using magic from your own blood to do all sorts of things. And you just feel this cut and this almost betrayal from Theo. And I need you to make a sanity check.
That is a success of 24.
Okay, good. And that was a hard success as well. As this happens, you kind of go through, and all of you will actually emerge from this, except for you, Simon. Everyone, you all succeeded, so you come through, and you're back, and you have seen that the Dreamwalker is just still there, staring at you, and the two guys that were involved, they are kind of getting back up or preparing for a strike, and so we're going to start there. And I believe, Jack, you did have your gun out. You'd be the first one
so,
in our...
Yeah,
you had your gun out. You've been stabbed in the back. You have this weird dream sensation, but you're able to emerge from it. You don't necessarily know about the Dreamwalker. You may have heard a voice, but you haven't turned around because you were facing away from him. So you have one guy in front of you. He's kind of kneeled down. He's wounded. He's facing Simon and Theo. He has a knife. You can see that Simon looks a little like he's not all there. Theo is alert. So that's what you're seeing, but you have been stabbed in the back, metaphorically and literally. So what would you like to do there?
Attempt to shoot the guy standing in front of me.
You're not going to worry about the guy behind you?
The guy that stabbed me is getting shot.
Okay, he's behind you, so you're going to turn to face him.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the guy. Okay, all right. Then I'm shooting the guy behind me.
Okay, so you're turning around, you're shooting.
One shot, though.
One shot, all right.
Yeah, I don't do multi-shots. I barely do one shot.
Oh.
Man. So close.
Oh, man. So, you got a 42, which is a failure, and it does miss him. And so...
Huh?
Got any luck to burn?
I mean, I got 22 luck. I could burn it. Fuck it. Pardon my French. I'm going to spend the luck.
All right.
Yeah.
So you spend 2 luck and...
Damage.
Wow.
So
That's 7 luck for 1 damage.
You turn and, you kind of overcompensate, but you do shoot and it grazes his ear. So it does a little bit of damage. I mean,
now he can't hear, can he?
Well, he has 2 ears, but...
He can't hear in that ear.
Yeah. So that...
Screw that guy.
I don't know if that's like as bad as getting hit by a snowball in the ear or, things like that, but...
It'll heal in like 3 days, because that's what happens when you get shot in the ear now.
Oh, okay. Good to know that. So, speaking from experience, huh? You shoot him, and that will bring up... let's see, I think Declan...
I got my gun drawn.
Yep, you have your gun drawn. Oh, wait, no. No, Simon, you're still... We'll come to you, Simon. Declan, you are up.
Yeah, he was thrown across the train, right?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, how close in proximity am I to people?
You're probably about... you would be probably about 5 feet. He didn't knock you far. 5 feet from the Dreamwalker, and then probably about 10 feet from the guy that just stabbed.
Do I have any penalty to my shots with my gun?
Only probably if you shoot at the human.
If I shoot at the human, I do. But if I shoot at Dogman, I'm good.
Right.
Well, that's who I wanted to shoot at, so that's fine. Oh no!
Oh no!
Rolled 100. My gun jammed.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's not looking good. So your gun has jammed.
What do I have to do to clear that? Is that an action on my next turn?
I'll say your action, your next turn. You just got to clear the round or whatever to...
If I move, do I get... Is there anywhere I can move to where I can give myself some distance to do that?
Yeah.
Next round?
You essentially... So, if you imagine Dogman... Now you can't see my hand because of the...
No.
But Dogman is here. You got pushed this way, and then farther over here, that way, is the other guy, and then Jack. So you could move back towards the other guy and Jack. I mean, there's about 10 feet room to spare, but the train's wide enough that you could kind of move around. Plus, there's still some luggage that you could probably make a barrier or move around to.
Yeah, if I can, I'll try and move back a little bit towards Jack and his friend and see if I can't duck around like a luggage rack or something.
All right, let's say you can.
My gun.
Yeah. All right. We will then move to the Dreamwalker. He will be next up in the turn order, and he will move over, actually behind Jack, and he is going to take some swings at you.
At me?
Yeah.
Okay. I will dodge.
Okay.
Because I don't do that either.
So here comes his first attack. And so if you want to roll,
I do.
Actually, he'll miss with that. But
well, consider this a preemptive dodge.
Gotcha. Well, he'll attack you again, and we'll use that dodge for if he hits you on this one. He would hit you, and your dodge failed.
Yep.
So, gosh, I gotta remember. Remember what he rolled. Okay. Oh my gosh. So he'll come with just like he swung at you. He missed the first time, and he just kind of comes back with a backhand and slaps you across the face. It stings a bit, and you take 1 damage.
Yep.
He's gonna just roll crappy tonight. He actually didn't get very much sleep last night, so yeah. But he's up, he hits you, and it is now Theo's turn. So you have a guy in front of you that's crouched with a knife.
My first inclination is going to be to try and help Simon. He's still dazed, right?
Yeah, he's just kind of like not moving, just kind of staying there like he's just frozen.
Slap him in the face.
Yeah, can I try and like wake him up or anything?
I mean, sure, go ahead.
Take my action?
Sure. You shake him, and to no avail. He does not.
A cup check.
It's a little unprofessional for a butler, but
hey, you do what you got to do to get this guy out of here, okay?
So yeah, I mean, he does not seem to be responsive. Make me a listen roll.
Hard success.
Yes, that's an 18 roll with a hard success. So as you're shaking him, trying to get him to come through, you hear what sounds like someone on top of the train, and you just hear this like and you kind of glance over and you see this person has fallen off and is tumbling, but you hear some other people talking on top that sounds like they're coming over the top of the train.
I suppose I'll inform the group of this.
So and the person you saw will look like one of the cult members.
So they're coming back on the top of the train rather than through the car?
You will probably, since if you remember, there was a whole group of them that they couldn't get through because they were bunched up. So some of them had the idea, hey, wouldn't it be cool to climb over the top of the train? So they backed up because there were so many, because it was just stupid to stand there and be like, let's wait our turn to die. Hey. So they ran off, and they've been trying to climb over the top, and one of them did fall off. but you now hear something what sounds like people are coming towards you on the top of the train.
Was there a distraught cry from one of the others, like, Jerry?
Jerry,
something like
what are
that.
you doing?
So, yeah.
Form
So,
the group that we've got more coming. And can I try and push Simon into the car? Like, we're next to the door, right?
sure.
Not the luggage car, but the car the Dreamers were in.
There is a guy crawling across the ground in that doorway, so you're just gonna shove me on top of that guy.
No, there's dead bodies in the way of the doorway. There's like 3 bodies piled up there. The guy that's crawling is on the other side to go to the next car.
Yeah.
So I mean, he could shove you over the bodies probably into there, and then turn around and face the guy that has the knife behind him.
It's undignified, but that seems the way to go.
All right, so
Like,
yeah, I'll
get
let you.
Simon
So you
in
just
the
push
car,
Simon.
away from danger, and then I'll square off with the other guy.
All right, so you square off. All right. So the one guy that had stabbed at you, Jack, and got shot in the ear, he sees the Dreamwalker has come up next to him and backhanded you. So he's going to take his knife and attempt to stab you again. And that will miss. He will miss you. And so then the gentleman that is on the other side of Theo that you have squared away, he will stand up and try to swing at you with his knife.
Can I attempt to dodge?
Yes. We'll see, though. So success. You are able to move out of the way,
Nice.
and he is unable to stab you.
Nice.
Now, we're going to jump to
Excellent.
Simon. Simon, you break through this, the party scene changes, and all of a sudden you're in a room. And you just see this man sitting in a chair in front of you with a cane. And he looks to you and he says, good to see you, master. How may I serve you today? This man looks familiar, like you've seen him before, but he's the only one in the room. You're just in this room, and he's just there before you. He's very well dressed, well kept, and you just have this sense that you've seen this person before.
I imagine that this almost feels like a dream, but I'm aware that I'm dreaming, almost like lucid dreaming. Is that kind of the sense that I get? Like, it feels unfamiliar, but familiar, and I'm
Yeah.
kind of like...
I would say that would be accurate.
So I think that I don't want to lose my poise and seem off guard. Like, I almost want to fit into whatever the role would be. So I will level my gaze at him and say... tell me, sir, in what ways have you typically served me? Refresh my memory so I may choose something that would be adequate for your skill sets.
Well, I have been in service for you for a number of years, making sure that you are prepared for what's ahead of you. I have seen to it that you're in the right place at the right time. I've seen to it that the right things were there for you when you needed it. And we prepare for your biggest performance and your biggest act yet.
Much appreciated for being there for me. I am curious in what ways you can serve me now. Do you have any suggestions?
Oh, yes. You will soon be faced with a person who could do you great harm. And in that moment, you just need to act. Don't think of what the others think. Act and neutralize the threat.
I will reach as though I'm reaching for a gun on my belt that may or may not be there in this reality that I exist. And say, so I am hearing that I should act before thinking and pull out my weapon.
When the time's right.
And will you be telling me when that time is right, or will I just know?
You'll know. And with that, you'll just... it's almost like you hear something and you divert your attention and everything changes. And you find that you're laying on your back in a train car, looking up at the ceiling. You still have your gun in your hand, and you're just like... I don't know what you're like.
Do I have the wherewithal to essentially act and fire the last 3 bullets that I have at
Sure.
whatever 3 enemies I see in front of me? Like, Is it almost like a thing like I was reaching in the dream and I just like kind of just raise up with my gun? Even as Theo's like pushing me, I'm midair raising my gun. Just
you could like you kind of wake up. You'd have to get up because he pushed you back, and there's like a mound of bodies in front of you.
Okay.
So, but you can get up and you will see the gentleman trying to stab Theo. So I don't think you can see anyone else, just the way everyone's in line. But you would have a shot at the guy trying to stab Theo.
Okay, so I will fire just a single shot at this guy with a success of 56.
Yeah.
And damage of 8.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you shoot him. You hit him, and it actually, the bullet doesn't do much damage. It kind of grazes his leg, but it's enough that he gets off balance and slips over and falls off the edge of the train, and you don't want to know the rest. He's dead. You got him. He falls off, and we are now at the top of the round, which will bring us to Jack. And Simon, you'll be back at your normal spot with your gun drawn.
Okay.
And is anyone else have their gun out? Or I think Theo's the only one that doesn't. Are you going to pull out your gun, or
I'll pull my gun out after this guy is down.
You will move up on the initiative. So, Jack, you're up. You have Beastie Boy in front of you, who backhanded you for a little bit of damage.
Yeah.
You've got the cultist over there with a knife trying to stab you.
And in one ear.
Yeah. We'll call him One-Eared Billy.
I'm going to holster my... Can I cast the spell with my gun drawn?
Yeah, you can. I mean, well, as long as you have some hand to either do whatever components you need, or what spell are you looking at?
I'm going to cast protection on myself.
Okay. What is your health at? Ooh, okay.
4. Just a normal one.
Okay. You may make the roll.
And there's plenty of blood around, so
I'll let you. You're gonna. Okay. Yeah.
I'm covered in blood.
Right. No. You've been stabbed.
My own blood, because I got stabbed in the back.
So it looks like you're reaching back to scratch your butt, but really you're just getting some blood from the wound back there. And
yep.
Okay.
I had blood. So yeah. So I'm gonna cast protection on myself.
All right.
And that's it. That's my turn.
Okay.
Oh, I guess I got my sanity goes down by...
Yeah. You have that, and then... All right.
What?
So you roll, and you get a normal success on that, and you will see that the Dreamwalker is pushed back. The gentleman with the knife is not, but he's not magical, so the protection doesn't really stop that. So
I know. Yeah.
Okay. So the guy, the Dreamwalker, has been pushed back, and so you've cast your spell. All right. So then we'll move on to. Or are you doing anything else?
I mean, I can't go anywhere. I mean, I'm trapped. So no.
All right. We'll move on then. I believe it's Simon next with the with your gun pulled.
Yeah, I think I'm going to scramble over the bodies to get next to Theo and fire one shot at the guy who had the knife pulled on Jack and another one at the Dreamwalker for my last 2 shots.
Okay.
And so firing those 2 shots, it's going to be a success, 2 successes of 74 and 79. The first shot being fired at the guy is going to be 7, and the one at the Dreamwalker is 6. If that hits.
You will hit the guy with the knife, and he will go down, and he will be dead. The Dreamwalker will take the hit, and he is still standing, and he'll just kind of look towards you. But that's all that you really get. So, I believe then, is it Theo or Declan? Which one of your decks is higher?
I've got a 55 right now.
I have a 50. I mean, does my dex even, does my gun even count if I'm just trying to fix it? I'm not really firing it on my turn.
Okay, yeah, we'll just say then, yeah. So Theo, you'll be up.
All right. What kind of economy does it take to pull my spare gun out of my coat to hand it to Simon?
I feel like that would be an action. To pull it out, the werewolf to hand it to him.
All right. Well, in that case, I'll just hand him the gun that is in my hand, and then move forward with the blackjack in my other hand towards the guy, towards the walker.
Okay. So you have Jack in front of you, though. Just remember that. He's standing in the entranceway of the passenger car, or the luggage cart. So Jack's right in front of you, so you'd have to, you would have to get past him. Even though the walker or the Dreamwalker's been pushed back into the luggage cart farther. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'll move to get up next to Jack.
Okay. Use him as a human shield.
Well, no, I'll
do it, man.
slip by him into the room and just stand next to him.
Okay. That'll work. Okay, so you kind of squeeze through, hey, excuse me, Jack, just let me coming through. And you get through there, and you're next to him, and you've got the blackjack out, ready to swing and miss him. I don't think you've hit anyone with your blackjack yet, just so you know.
I hit one person.
Did you hit? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I did much, but I hit somebody.
Well, you probably done more damage than this guy. So, all right. So you're inside his shield, and he's there, or with his protection out, and that was kind of bad. So you're there, and I think we go to Declan. Well, actually, no. It's going to be the Dreamwalker up next. He's going to see this protection. He's going to take one of his hands, and he slices down to release blood himself, and he says something, and Jack, you're just going to feel this intense force just hit your protection, and I'm going to have you just make another roll on your protection.
Okay, I can do that.
Nice.
36 with
36.
success.
So your protection holds, but he hits you hard, and he will then he will move behind some of the other luggage area, just kind of move off to the side so he's not out in the open. But he has kind of disappeared from your guys' sight farther down the luggage rack. And that'll bring us up to Declan, who has hit around the corner. You've got your gun jammed. You're taking your turn to clear it.
Mm-hmm.
And you might, if you want to, you could probably just go ahead and load it back up. I don't know how many bullets you have in there, but
it's about half full. Do I have
are you gonna
anything with the? Does it automatically clear the jam, or is there something I have to click so the game knows?
I think it automatically clears it.
Okay. Okay, yeah, but I mean that'll be my turn, is fixing my gun, getting it ready to go the next round.
All right, I'm looking here, and all right, and so are you just going to stay in cover?
Yeah, I don't have any reason to come out, really.
Okay. All right. That'll move us to the top of the round, and we have Jack up. At this point, the Dreamwalker stepped away. You can't see him.
You said he stepped away. Did I see which way he went?
Yeah, like he just basically moved back and went behind a bunch of the luggage. Now, the way the luggage is kind of, there's a lot of kind of nooks and crannies to kind of hide and get behind. That's kind of what Declan did. So he's kind of just not visible right now, as far as you can tell. It looks like he just ran around a corner, but you don't necessarily know where he went after that.
The guy behind me, is he focused on me or somebody else?
He's dead.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
We
Well,
do
I'm gonna-
have people coming from the top of the car, though.
And I will say that probably everyone may know that except for Simon, because he was still in his like trance thing when you said that.
So between us and the rest of the train, like I don't see anybody behind me, right?
Right. There's no one behind you.
Okay. Then I am going to take the opportunity and tell everybody we need to get the hell out of here. And yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Where are we gonna go?
We're on a train. Where are we going?
I mean, the guys not here, away from the Dreamwalker. Up to the engine and pull the emergency stop. I don't know.
I think we should get on the roof.
That seems a valid option.
Maybe you could crawl under the train, you know.
Oh, there
I
we
mean,
go.
I know I'm not going to survive if we get on that roof. I don't think Simon can do it twice, but maybe, who knows?
Oh, I don't think Theo could do it twice, to be honest. He got lucky.
So,
We can just
I guess
walk through the train the car that I'm in.
you went.
Can we just go through the car?
Yeah, but we're
Let's-
still
yeah.
on the train. Like we're not going to see
Yeah,
the
being
Dreamwalker.
chased by people.
Oh yeah.
Like there's a finite amount of space.
Yeah. Okay. I don't like our options. I guess I will peek around look around the luggage rack, see if I can see the Dreamwalker. Is he still there?
You're gonna look where?
I'm gonna go for the Dreamwalker. Is he still
you're
there?
moving up.
Yeah.
So you'll move up about. Let's see.
How far is that?
I'm trying to remember where. So he got pushed back about 5 feet when your field or your protection spell went up, and so he kind of blasted at you. Then he moved probably 10 feet back and kind of off to the side. So he, as far as you'd have to travel about 15 feet up to look around a corner to see if he's there.
Okay. Ideally, I would like to stay in somebody's vision, but I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Roll me a spot hidden.
Success with a 58.
You look around the corner where you thought he was, and you don't see him, but something is kind of like like the suitcase or something is like almost like someone brushed against it, and it looks like the person or whoever it was, whether this is what he did or not, doubled back, kind of around behind you, on the other side of the luggage. So kind of outside of your view, you're on one side, he's on the other, and he's kind of looks like maybe went like this, and is doubling back.
Do I have movement?
So he's. I would say you see it. So yeah, you could still kind of move to.
Okay, I'm gonna turn around see if I can see anything.
Okay. You travel about 5 more feet. You don't see anything at this point, and we're gonna kind of you get about that far.
Okay.
We'll bring up. Let's see. I think that is now Simon.
It is. So I'm just trying to visualize this. So the Dreamwalker I shot, we no longer know where he is. He retreated somewhere back into that car.
Mm-hmm.
Jack has moved in there to search for him. I know Declan's in there. Theo's on the car looking in that direction as well.
Right.
And in order for me to get in there, I'd have to essentially push by a couple of people to get into that car. So I think that I'm actually going to move backwards and have the gun ready that Theo gave me. And just start moving through the original car that had the cultists in it and clear it to make sure there's nobody else in there and see what else is in this car. I'm hoping for captured children.
So you are at the back end, and there were 2 doors that were originally being guarded by one person on each side. So there's one on either side. I'm going to say that you don't hear anything at this point. The car is very silent. So you have a door on your left and your right, and then a little farther down, again, you're going to see 2 doors on either side. A little farther down, 2 doors on either side, and then a little farther down, 2 doors on either side. So there's a total of 8 doors. The first 2, left or right, are on the side. You want to pick one?
I'll go to left and I'll open it. Gun ready.
Okay.
So I guess I got the gun that Theo gave me now in my shooting hand, and the one that's empty just in my other hand hanging.
Okay. You open the door, and as you open this, you will see you will see 8 people bound and gagged in the car, or in that room. You don't see any threats or anything. You just see these people that are just bound and gagged in there, and being kept.
I'll motion for them to stay quiet, and I imagine that'll be the full of my turn.
Okay. And all right. So you can't make out if there's any kids, but you did find some people that look like they're being held against their will.
A lot of people in a little room.
Well, they don't care much for their health, okay? So I think Declan is up. I forgot he has his gun out.
All right, so do I see Dogman?
You're going to peek around the corner?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yes, you will. He's sneaking along the backs, or not. I mean, yeah, I don't know if you want him tiptoeing or he's moving gracefully or whatever, but he is moving a little bit. He's probably, actually, when you peek around, he's about 5 feet away from you.
All right, I'll fan the hammer at him.
All right.
Pink Panther in it along the back wall.
Yep.
Oh, darn it. I rolled 1 attack.
Well, it's a success. Good job.
It was a good
I
attack.
guess we'll just take that. That's fine.
Yeah, roll damage. Oh, nice. So you hit the Dreamwalker, and he actually will go down on a knee, and he will look. He'll look towards you. And he'll just kind of have this fire in his eyes, but you hit him, and you do have some movement if you want to move.
Yeah, I'll put a little distance between us if possible.
Okay. So essentially you can probably backtrack over by Theo, who's over by the door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so you go over there, stand by Theo. That'll bring up the Dreamwalker, and he will come pretty quick around the corner. He has his hands raised to try to actually hit you guys and maybe do some damage for a change. And
Who's he going after? Declan?
He's going after Declan.
Okay.
No. Dodge?
You can attempt to dodge.
I don't dodge well.
Makes 2 of us.
Nope.
That's not a good dodge.
That was a fail with an 89.
Sprained your ankle on those suitcases.
He dived into his fist.
And he hits you with 3.
Yeah.
Causes 3 damage to you. And then he's actually going to turn around with his other hand, and he's going to launch this force towards Jack.
Oh, I didn't know what it was.
It's the same thing he kind of did last time.
Oh, okay.
And hit your. So if you'll make a roll on your, but you will have this time 1 disadvantage on there.
Oh well, I didn't roll with. Hang on, let me re-roll it.
Yeah. So your protection will be down.
Okay.
And that will be his turn. And Theo, you're up. The Dreamwalker is in front of you. He just hit Declan pretty good, and yeah.
So can I just draw my gun and
You gave your gun
shoot
away,
him?
didn't you?
I have 2.
Okay, yeah, sure, you can draw it.
It's like 2 hits and a miss.
Yep, you got a 31 and a 52, but you then rolled a 99.
He almost jammed it.
Yeah,
And
That's not a jam, though, right? That's only on
not a
100.
jam.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Ooh, nice.
So it is 10 and 7.
All right.
17 damage.
17 damage, and the Dreamwalker will fall back, and he'll fall against the wall,
nice hit though.
and so he is laying there on the ground, and that'll bring us up to the top of the round. See, everyone's acted. Well, actually, so you will hear one person climbing down the ladder behind you, and then he'll step to the side, and there will be another one that climbs down. Jeff unfortunately fell off the train as their lament, but these two did make it, and they will see that the Dreamwalker is on the ground injured, and they will just kind of go into a rage and will just basically run at both of you, or towards you. Now only one of them get up there, so one will get up to try to stab you, Theo, coming from behind, and he is so engulfed in his anger and rage that he misses, and the other one is just waiting to get his chance to stab you. So there are just 2 guys behind you. The Dreamwalker is along the wall. I would say that, Simon, after opening the door, you would be aware of these 2 guys climbing down and going after them. So it'll put Jack at the top of the round. The Dreamwalker is on the ground, not really moving. So it appears that he's out of action. But you have the 2 people back behind that have just appeared behind Theo and Declan.
Okay. Well, I will maneuver out to where I can see them, and I'm gonna not Declan. Jack's gonna shoot his gun and see what happens.
You're gonna take control of Declan.
43 with a failure.
All right. So
I miss again.
you miss.
Again.
All right. And that then will bring up Simon.
Theo, how many bullets did you have in this gun? Had
It
you
was
fired
full.
it yet?
No.
He hadn't fired it.
So you got 6 rounds in there.
Okay.
So I feel like cue up the music and
Yep. Pretty much, right?
Yeah.
It's over.
I'm just gonna be like crossing from the door on the left to the one at the right, and just kind of look and raise the gun up and fire 3 shots in the back of these guys' heads, and then move towards the next door and open it.
He's not even gonna look. It's just gonna be like firing off the shoulder.
yeah. Considering you got a 78, a 90, and an 84, and you do hit.
Yeah, 3 successes for all of them for a total of 4, 9, and then 1 damage.
So
no, that's actually plus 6. Because the 45 is a D10 plus 2.
So it's 6, 11, and 3.
Okay, 6, 11,
Yeah.
and 3.
What?
He gave him a 45.
Oh, his gun.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So yeah, they will both go down. You kill them.
I'll open the next door.
Up the next door, you will find 7 people that are tied up and gagged, and they'll look at you like terrified. I don't know if you're just gonna. They're already being quiet. They're gagged, and you're like, shh. Do you leave the door open, or do you close it after you?
I'm leaving them open. Like, I'm leaving the doors open. Like the other people should see me going across and opening the other door.
And then they just see you turn around and go,
Bing, bang, bang.
and then, shh. So, all right, all the enemies look down. The bodies have piled up. I think you have like 5 bodies now in between the intersection between the luggage and your passenger car. And you have 1 dead Dreamwalker.
You got Declan. Declan needs to go put some more bullets in that Dreamwalker. He's up next. Don't miss.
I feel like that was a stab at me, but I'm not sure.
Am I up next?
I think Todd's
Haven't
moving
gone
up.
yet.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, you'd be up if you want to keep firing at him. You can check on him. You can. The only way for you to like know if he's dead is to do like a medical check.
I mean, I'm gonna keep shooting him. If
You are going to keep shooting.
yeah.
As
Well,
you, I
pump
guess
this guy
you,
full of
you,
lead.
you cock your hammer and get ready to shoot. You'll see a hand like, wait.
I'm gonna fire anyway. I'm not
All
gonna
three
talk-
shots.
I'm not gonna talk to a demon.
All right.
know what he
perfectly
is?
fair.
I don't know what he is. He's a demon.
You have a
He's
dog
not
face
human.
hoof thing. You shoot the dog face hoof thing. You don't talk to it. Wait, what? No.
That's 3 hits.
Oh.
This is
Shit.
somebody's grandpa.
Not no more.
Oh,
He's a demon.
Woo!
We don't know
2,
that.
3,
Man.
and 10, a total of 15 damage.
Jeez. Bang,
and-
bang,
and-
bang.
And he'll just kind of like cough and just say, "You fools!" Yeah.
2 in the
And
chest,
that's-
1 in the head. Be done with it.
And
I was going, son of a
Simon,
bitch.
you
Looked
will.
like I had
you
a
will
whole
hear in your
monologue
head-
prepared.
I know, yeah. It's okay. Simon, you'll kind of hear in your head. It'll be O'Cracky, voice, and be like, "Yeah, don't worry about taking out the threat right now."
Who?
Don't worry about it. I'm like raising my weapon at the people in the cart. Are they the threat? Okay.
Who's the threat?
So, all right, yeah, the Dreamwalker has substantial bullet holes in him. He is bleeding. I don't know if anyone else wants to turn it, keep shooting at him, or if you want to.
I'm going to take some time to heal Jack, and
I
then
just
I'll
missed
shoot the
anyway.
guy.
We're gonna have
I'm
an
getting-
entire RoboCop scene. Like all of us are just gonna stand there and fire our guns.
So,
What
I don't know what you guys are all going to do. I don't know if you're going to like throw bodies off the train, if you're going to try to like clean up, check the car or the other places.
Yeah,
what-
reload my gun and then fire some more. No,
Can I?
I'll continue to be opening the doors, and when the gunshots finally cease, I'll let people know we have victims in here.
as soon as I can, I'll go help Simon with the people. in there.
As soon as I would have heard about the people, I'd have gone looked for somebody.
Okay, so so let me just start. You in the luggage cart. You've killed the Dreamwalker. Is anyone checking him out, or are you kind of racing back where Simon is? Because Simon probably said, "Hey, there's people back here."
I mean,
Hey,
I
look,
would
there's
like
probably
to check them out,
kids
yeah.
too.
It sounds like it's going to be a couple of rounds of me opening doors and checking on them while they're still firing into a dead body.
Well, I'm going to heal Jack if given the
Okay, so you go ahead and
opportunity.
heal. So you open up the next set of doors, and it looks like, it looks like quite a few people were probably crammed in here, but it looks like probably cult members were in this room. It's empty. You see like several of these books laying around. They all look the same, and that's kind of what you see. Some clothes and stuff. It's not the best smelling room, or 2 rooms. So, did you cast your heal there?
Not yet. Is there enough dead people around me to get a major heal out of this?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
Like there is, but I'm gonna no. You can do a minor.
Yeah, that's fine.
In between their target practice, I will check
That's
out
fail.
the Dreamwalker.
Okay. So
Declan goes up and shoots him, and I'm reloading, and you're like,
I was
"All right,
reloading.
give me
I'm like,
a
oh my
second,
god!
check him
you're
out."
up there. You're up there trying to check him out between the shots, and then Theo is next to you trying to touch you to heal you.
Yeah.
So Theo,
That's
with
good
that
word.
failure, you can next round cast it again. You'll add the modifier, and keep adding the modifiers if you want to try to cast it again. You don't have to redo the components as far as health. You just have to. You'll just keep adding to the sanity damage.
Okay.
So they're checking them out. We'll just jump to the next round, which Jack, you won't really. You're just gonna find a robe, and then like he's commando underneath that, and there's not much else
Thanks for
there.
that.
Yeah, they live a very simplistic life.
Jack was curious. He was like, you know what? I wonder what is under this robe.
I mean, I was
Not anymore.
looking for no books, no documentation. All right, cool.
Is there a dog
Yeah.
thong under this robe with his hooves and stuff?
Yeah, he did have a deck of cards. He was going to go play poker later, but
Yeah, all right.
Looks like you already lost at strip poker.
Well, then I'll let Declan keep target practice, and I'll
You
head
did.
into the car with
Okay.
the Colt.
so you're kind of heading there. Are you guys? I'm just.
whatever.
I don't know. Are you guys going to climb over the bodies? Or are you just going to chuck them over the side that's in between? You've got two barriers there.
Oh, absolutely. Check him over the side.
Okay,
I don't
so
feel
you'll.
like there's
Yeah.
a reason not to do that.
Okay. Theo, are you trying to do the heal again, or
I'll go ahead and give it one more shot.
all right?
For the minor is this here. Nice. Totally fucking worth it.
Hey, it wouldn't be a heal if you didn't do like the minimum heal.
That's right.
So,
Yeah.
I agree completely.
yeah.
Are you checking the bodies for cigarettes before you throw them off the side there, Jack?
Oh, yes. 100%. Good call.
I'm going to
Roll
grab
luck.
any extra ammo.
Roll luck for me there,
Oh,
Jack.
I don't want to roll luck.
You, got a
You want me to roll it
15
for you?
don't you?
I have a 15 luck.
You know,
And
you
if
can't-
if you hadn't
you
wasted
can't-
your luck on that one damage, you would have made that.
Too bad you can't spend luck for luck, but
Can I push that?
No. All right. So you find
5
empty
make my luck.
empty packs of cigarettes. There's nothing in them.
Is
Yeah.
there enough leftover tobacco for Jack to roll his own cigarette?
No.
Did I
Damn.
see any cigarettes when I was digging through random people's suitcases?
You know what? Make me a luck roll.
I swear.
Found a suitcase full of them.
Right? Yeah,
Two.
he did. He found.
Dang.
Success.
All right. So roll me a D4.
You found 6 cartons.
God damn.
2 packs. Actually, I'll say you found 1 pack, and then you did find some cigars.
Nice.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
I'll leave a couple of bucks in that suitcase and give him the cigarettes. I will also return all of the items I took from random suitcases that I wasn't trying to make it look like I was actually after stuff. So I don't remember what all those things were because it's been 3 weeks. But
And now people are going to have like things put in the wrong suitcase or.
I
All right.
imagine suitcases are just thrown everywhere for people being
Yeah,
thrown
the
into
place is
stuff and
trapped
knocked
anyway at
over,
this
and
point.
Oh, yeah.
there's probably some bullet holes in some suitcases.
Oh, 100% there is. Jack was shooting.
So, okay. You got healed. Simon, you going to move up to your next set of doors?
Yeah, I think I still had the 4th one across the way. Unless
Oh,
you
yeah.
said there was guys in there too,
Yeah.
and then move up to 5 and 6. But yeah,
I'll just say you were able to open both those doors because they're going to be the same. It's just you kind of
Okay.
threw it open. They're both empty. Those were cultists were staying. You move up to the next row, and you open the one on the right, and again, it's going to be. It looks like cultists were there. You open up the one on the left, and this one, like, it reeks. You get hit with this like smell of just it smells like something's dead. I will have you make a Constitution roll.
that is a failure of a 67. I would like to vomit in this room, please.
Yeah, you will. You will turn and you will. Are you going to vomit in the room? Or are you going to vomit in the hallway? Or what are you going to do? I'll
I'll
let you
keep it.
choose where you
I'll
vomit.
keep it in the room. Yeah.
Okay, so you vomit in the room,
good choice.
and
Yeah,
the
good
room
call.
is actually like it's orderly. There are some candles on there that are burning, and you will see some papers and some books. And then you will see some type of container off to the side. But that's kind of where that's what you're seeing. Are you going to go in and check anything out?
I mean, eventually. I feel like I'm doing a lot in my
Okay.
round. I'm vomiting.
All
I'm
right.
checking out the room.
That's right. That's fine. So you're vomiting. Okay, we'll
I'm the
stop
most,
there. That's good.
I'm the most efficient vomiter you've ever seen.
So,
He's years of practice.
all right, we're back. I mean, we can get out of rounds. So you guys are moving. Jack, you've cleared the bodies. Theo, you've healed him. You're kind of behind him, trying to get up there to Simon. And then Declan, you've tidied up the luggage room the best you can, and just kind of whistled as you walked out, ignoring the bullet holes and everything. And
the demon
I mean,
blood
you do have
on the floor, and
you do have this Dreamwalker laid on the floor in there, and one body in the car. I don't know if you guys did anything with
are we
those
tossing
or.
those off the side as well?
I think all the bodies.
See why
as
not?
well,
Yeah.
All right.
I just wasn't sure if,
Okay,
if
so-
Jack was done checking out what was under the demon.
Jack will
guy's
turn
robe.
around. We'll say Jack turns around to help you with the bodies, and Theo, you're heading up to Simon, and you see him vomiting. So we can just kind of pick up there. We'll just start with you two in the back. You're getting those last bodies out of there. So Theo, you're approaching Simon. You guys can you see him throwing up, and
So you would be walking past the two doors that are open with people gagged and tied in those two rooms that are still sitting there quietly at my direction, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably leave that for Declan and Jack. I'd come to check on Simon, give him a handkerchief or something, swig of water.
okay, as you approach, you are going to notice the odor as well, and I'll have you make a Constitution roll.
You vomit into Simon's shoes.
You start to hand him the handkerchief and vomit into it. No, you make it with a 48. Great job.
Yes.
So you kind of
Simon vomit.
You get up there.
I'm
and you
used to
kinda go,
Simon being sick.
Yeah, you kind of go. You make like this. I'm good. And then
Yeah, I will reach for the handkerchief and I'll kind of point at the things that I saw backing out. There's something here to be inspected, Theodore, if you would. And
All right,
vacuum back out of the room.
I will grab another handkerchief and cover my mouth as I enter the room.
All right.
How many handkerchiefs do you normally carry on your person?
A proper butler comes prepared.
I'm just curious.
He asked you a number.
4.
Okay.
So you approach, and like I said, you'll see kind of an area where there are some papers and books, and you will see that there's this like container sitting off to the side of the room.
How large is a container?
It's probably about the size of a small, like little case or suitcase, sort of.
Given the contents of the room, I'm going to wait for Jack on the container, and I'm going to look at the paperwork and books and such.
Okay.
Probably grab what I can and then take it out of the room.
Okay. So you grab it. You're going to pull it out. Most of the papers just look like they're just strange descriptions of places. You can't really make sense of them, and it really just seems like it maybe makes sense, but it seems more like gibberish. It's really hard to make any sense of those papers. But one of them you will find is a letter, and the letter will be addressed, and it'll have Renabi, you are to deliver these others to Igor Kepler. Tell him he needs to get his affairs in order. The numbers he is requesting are unsustainable. He must make do with the amount we are giving him. Also, the recent disappearance of people from the resort must be addressed. Igor says it has nothing to do with his activities, and no one has connected it to the resort. Igor, like all humans, meddles in things he cannot understand. While you are delivering the others, investigate the disappearances. If they are unrelated to the book or the resort, then leave it be. If, however, it is related to his sideshow, we need a quick and quiet resolution. It is preferable to preserve Igor at least until after the renewal. Igor has only been a guardian for about 20 or for almost 20 years. If he must be removed from the book, then do so and return the book as soon as possible. Be aware, we are not in our area of influence. Do not draw unwanted attention. Fortunately, if we must clean up Igor's mess, then at least taking the book back will erase what he has done there. Remember, the renewal is upon us. Our mistress stirs. She is not in the mood for mistakes. The Nameless One is moving, and their conflict is close at hand. The dance must continue, and the dream must never end. May you walk in the path of the dream and feast on those of the eternal slumber. Ganaki. So, you find this letter. The books are mostly, it seems like teachings or stuff or writings for the Dreamwalkers. Nothing that stands out to you isn't really like interest you in the moment.
Okay.
So that's what you have there.
Yeah, that's
After a
probably about
while
as much as I can do.
Okay.
After a while, I'll make wake my way in there, and
All right. You'll walk past the people
he was
in the
waiting for me.
room that are bound and gagged and being quiet because the guy with the pistols that...
right.
Yeah. So you'll walk past them, and Declan, I think you're coming up with him as well. You'll walk past them as well.
I'm gonna go into the room of the people.
I say, if those people are there, I am looking for that one person.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in and start unbinding and ungagging people. I'm not gonna leave them like that.
I'm just like,
we just keep walking past them.
We were in the middle of combat when it happened. I wasn't going to do it when we were shooting people.
yeah.
I know, but
Yeah.
Theo just walked past them, and then it's like...
My job is Simon, not a bunch of random people.
And then Todd was like, as you guys walk past them, it's like, screw those guys. No, I'll go in there and at least get one person undone and be like, all right, start doing the rest, and then I'll help with that.
Okay. So, yeah, they'll start doing the rest, and you will find that there is... Let's see here. You know what? How about this? Simon, make me a luck roll.
I will say that I should be able to make my way towards the next couple of doors to open too
Yeah.
by then. Woo, that's a terrible failure at 90.
That's
All
pretty
right.
bad.
They did find people, but there are no children.
Oh.
They're all adults that were bound and gagged. So you were hoping there'd be children you saved. No.
There's no people in the next two rooms either?
No,
Either.
it's just going to be where the cultists were bunching up in the room.
Okay.
So that's all you find. I mean, I know you've made quite a commotion, but you're at the back of the train, so I feel like it would you'd have all the rumbling around the train and everything, maybe covering up your pistols, and people were still possibly eating. So it might be that no one has heard this or is aware of this, so that it's happened. And you now have people that you're freeing. I don't know if you're going to be like, hey, let's take them to the train staff, or do you want your presence known that you've been in this gunfight, or what are you all going to do now?
I'm going to start by slowly closing the door that might lead towards the other train cars while we decide.
Okay.
But I imagine we need to have a conversation as a group.
Yeah.
And just remind you, there is the container that...
Yeah. So once we get these people untied, if
you do not find the person you're looking for, just so you know.
Okay. If Theo was waiting on me for that container, I'll go in there too.
Okay. So just make me a Constitution roll.
Yeah. There we go.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hard success with a 23.
Hard success. And with that also, you're going to know that the smell is coming from the container.
Yeah, I figured as much. I'm going to cast Sight.
Oh, okay. Taking an eyeball out.
Well, they're gonna Yeah, I guess all the dead bodies are gone. But yeah, I'm taking an
Threw 'em
eyeball
all off
out.
the train. Didn't even get any extra eyeballs.
I didn't even think about it.
They brought that melon baller from the dining car for nothing.
I'm down to one eyeball. So
Maybe you
anything?
can ask some of the people tied up in the cars if someone would
Do you need your eye? I'm asking.
Anybody have any extra eyeballs?
Anything I see with the crate, box, container, whatever.
The only thing you do see is that there was kind of a lingering effect of what appears to have been shadow magic. That it's dissipating, so you probably put two and two together that the Dreamwalker used some type of kind of like your shadow travel and moved behind Declan in doing so. But other than that, you don't really see any other magical presence or anything. The case does not appear to be magical.
Any writing on it?
No.
Carvings? What kind of box is it? Like wood, metal?
We'll say it's metal.
Okay, I guess I'll open it. If I don't see anything.
As you open it, you will find body parts, such as like hands and things like that. Some of them have teeth marks where they've been actually chewed on, and
this was his dinner.
Yeah, that's what it appears to be.
His lunchbox.
This was his lunchbox, yeah.
Yeah.
Any eyeballs?
Make me a luck roll.
No, let's not do luck.
What?
You got it!
Hey! With a 9.
Roll me a D4. Oh my goodness, you find 3 eyeballs.
Oh
Nice.
my gosh.
They're not the freshest, but
That's okay.
yeah.
I imagine if I hold eyeballs in a bag, they're not exactly fresh anyway.
I just kind of assumed you had a pickle jar. Or some kind of brine.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yes, clearly. It'd be silly if I didn't.
Brine them.
Yeah. So, all right, you've figured out what was in there making the smell. I don't think you're wanting to take any of that with you, just the eyeballs.
The eyeballs.
Yeah. So probably leave and close the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you close the door, and now you have people starting to free themselves. They're starting to maybe ask questions of each other, and you see some of them there's people kind of merging in the middle, and they're kind of looking towards you all, but they look kind of terrified at the same time. They're not really sure what to make of you.
I'm gonna hand Theodore back his gun, reload mine, and then of course resheath it, or whatever the terminology is for that. And then I will look to the people. Yeah, holster. Thank you. I will reholster my own weapon. If you be so kind, how did you all come about being prisoners of these dastardly devils?
And they'll look at you, and we're from. I mean, I think all of us are from Boston. We were recently taken, and some of us police officers brought us into these people, and they took us away. Others were brought by the people, and we've just been. We went to some town into a shop where we were put on chains and held there for a little bit. Some guy would tease us with these weird, like, black creatures that would cause the power to go out, and he took some of the people that were with us, and then we got sent to here. There was a larger group, but they got diverted to go somewhere else.
You said you're all from Boston. You know Sarah?
Like they're from Boston.
Yeah.
Look, if I start doing accents, it's going to be bad.
You know Sarah?
And they'll kind of...
She's from Boston.
And one will... there was a Sarah. She got taken with the other group.
When did they separate you?
Before we got on the train.
In Chaplin?
Actually,
or in...
well, we don't really know where we were, but we got on we got held in some place before we got on the train, and they took them in a different, because they said there was too many of us to travel the train at the same time. So the others were taken somewhere else, or they got there ahead of time. Maybe I don't know. We just all thought they were taken somewhere else, but I guess they could have been taken ahead of time.
But Sarah at some point was with you.
There was a Sarah, yeah.
Okay. So, what do we do about this, fellas?
Well, I first am curious how many of you have the bees, with enough kush to last generations. Any of you come from families with cabbage?
They're all gonna look at each other and...
He's asking about money.
Yeah, I know that he's asking for. No one's gonna say. I mean, all of them are gonna be like, "No, we don't come from much," and probably over half of them are homeless.
Oh. I don't know if Greg had shared the letter that he had found, but I was a little confused about what it was saying. Was it saying that people were trying to infiltrate and take out Igor by delivering these people to get into this complex? Is that what I was understanding?
No. So sorry, let me explain that. So what the letter seems to be is he's supposed to take these people to drop them off.
Right.
Igor has been asking for too many people. They do not want to send the numbers of people that he wants. And so they're saying he has to be happy with the number we sent, and whatever we send, he needs to be happy with. However, if there was another paper you found that there was some frustration with Igor because he was drawing unwanted attention at his place. And what this letter kind of goes in is that there apparently has been some disappearances of people that have been at his resort. And Igor is saying it has nothing to do with me, and no one is saying it has anything to do with the hotel or the resort. But the Dreamwalkers are concerned that this is going to bring attention there. And then they mentioned that this is not an area that they have a lot of influence. It's kind of like there are other powers kind of at be there that they don't want to tangle with or get involved with. And as you kind of mentioned, that there are, there's rich families there that are not necessarily connected to your families. And so this is a whole nother kind of breed of things there. So there's other things there that they don't want to draw the attention to.
Okay.
So he's supposed to, the Dreamwalker that you're going to assume that what you killed was supposed to drop these people off, then investigate the disappearances. And if it's a problem with Igor would then be taken out.
Okay. But I can at least surmise in this conversation that whoever's been seeking out rich families and rich people is not associated with these Dreamwalkers bringing in these folks.
Correct.
Gotcha. All right.
You guys have some very confused, scared, terrified people at the back of the train, and they don't really know what to do. And you four are up there looking at each other like, now what?
Can you remind us how far out we are from Louisiana?
At this point, you are probably a day.
So we have 24 hours to figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
I say we unhook the last two train cars and then act like nothing happened for the rest of the train trip.
What happened in terms of... Jeez, how do I want to say this? Well, sorry, the cultists, what were they? How were they dressed? Like, what were they wearing? Were they just dressed
I know
like
where he's
normal
going with
folks,
that.
or...
Yeah.
So you would find in theirs that they had some normal looking clothes, and then there were those that they did have like some robes and stuff they brought with them. But for the most part, when they are out around people, they seem to dress normally.
Okay. Do the people that were captured and tied up back there, I mean, how much more distinct are they? You said some of them were like homeless people and stuff, so I'm assuming...
Yeah, their clothes are going to be ragged and looking pretty rough.
Okay, so...
I am actually...
There should be some replacement clothes in some of the quarters for some of the cultists, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I'll try and divvy those out as best I can to provide replacement clothes so that some of the people can potentially blend in. How's that sound as a start for you guys?
I think that's a good idea. I'm also going to ask, like, I'm going to ask these prisoners, because that's essentially what they are, how they actually got on the train. Because they clearly were not just brought on as passengers.
Right.
How did they get on the train?
They will tell you that they were loaded up into basically like some type of container or something and made it look like they were luggage. And then they were pulled out of the containers and put into the cart.
Okay. I mean, so as of right now, we know the staff won't come back here.
Right, and that's kind of what I'm wondering is, like, I'm sure that the four of us could almost look like cultist guards or whatever and stand outside the door to maintain the facade.
Yeah.
And
What are we trying to hide? The
there's
staff.
still the Boston cops on the train,
Yeah, there's still the Boston cops, the Boston PD on the train.
and the Boston PD are the ones who captured these people to give them to the cultists.
As far as they know, nothing has happened.
Right.
One thing that occurred on the train is that Jason tried to order alcohol,
Right.
and the conductor said, "We will throw you off this train if you ask again," which tells me that there's got to be some other stops between here and where we're going that they have to kick people off if something happens. So there's got to be some other stopping point in the next 24 hours where the train stops, whereas people get out, stretch their legs, get back on again.
Yeah.
Surely we can, like... I mean, we didn't do anything illegal. We stopped kidnappers.
The murder's kind of illegal.
Well, we were defending ourselves. They had knives.
I don't think
We were
that they
defending.
saw-
I knocked on the door and I grabbed them and tried to throw them off the train.
Listen, the victors rewrite history in the way that we see it.
No, he threw the door open, tried to stab Simon, and so Simon grabbed him and tried to throw him off. That's the story.
I don't
Okay.
think that we really need to do anything with that because there's nobody alive who can tell anybody anything that we don't want them to know.
But all I'm saying is, like, if you go to the conductor and be like, "Hey, people have been kidnapped. They're on your train. We need to stop at the next port and get them off." You think that, like, a handful of Boston police are going to hold up the train then and continue traveling? You think they're going to, like, hold us at gunpoint and hijack the thing?
I mean, possibly, because they're crazy, but at the same time, it's entirely possible that when we come to a stop, we can just let them off the train. But we're also going to be letting them off a train at a random location somewhere between Boston and Louisiana with no money, no food, and no way to get back home or even any idea where they're at.
I will say that you would have probably found some money in the the cultists. They would have had to have some money on them. So you would find money there if you're going to keep it or give it to the people. And one thing to also remember, your letters indicated, and even talking to some of the police officers when you were in Chaplin, is that they were afraid of the Dreamwalkers if they found out what they were doing. So even though the Boston PD are on here, they may not have known that there were Dreamwalkers on here, and they would be terrified for them to find out that they were coming to take this book. Because it doesn't seem like the Dreamwalkers would want that.
My other concern is if we have the people just roaming around the train, they don't have train tickets to show they belong on the train.
Well, they'd have to stay back here.
Yeah, I'm
They
not.
can't
that's
go
not what
roaming
I'm
the train.
That's not what I'm advocating for specifically.
Okay.
I think what he's saying is to put on the facade that the cultists are still there, keep the passengers back, or the prisoners back there. When you get to the next stop, get them off and, tell them that they were kidnapped or whatever, but don't remember our faces.
Right.
And,
Give them a wad of cash and tell them good luck.
Yeah.
Do we have a wad of cash?
He said we found money on the cultists that we could
got
give
some
them.
cash on them.
Oh.
I would say you found it in their room, not on them, because they're underneath the train now.
Theo has no inclination to steal the money or keep the money,
Yeah.
so we can give those to the
Which is fine.
prisoners.
But I don't know how much it is, and are there 15? Is that what we have? Is about 15?
Yeah.
Of them?
I would say you probably find around $200.
Oh shit!
I mean, large group traveling.
Can we persuade them to stay back here with the smelly dead body part room? I mean, are they willing just to
Just
stay?
don't go
I
in
guess
that
you could-
room.
You can throw that case off the train too.
I mean,
I was thinking about that earlier.
There's almost as
Actually,
many
I have an idea
cultists-
for the case
there's
before we
almost
ditch
as many
it.
cultists on the train as there are prisoners. So I would imagine that the cultist lodgings are sufficient for them to be able to rest in for the
Yeah.
most part.
Okay, well, let's try to. I guess we try to roll a persuasion to see if we can get the passengers just to.
They're
Follow
gonna.
the
You don't
plan.
have to necessarily roll for them. They're agreeable. You just saved their lives or whatever was going to happen to them, and so plus they saw you shooting at something without hardly even looking, and then heard screams of people dying. They're kind of like, we'll do whatever you want, buddy.
All right, so that's the plan. Then we're gonna let them just kind of hang out and do whatever, and then at the next stop, take them off the back
Sure.
with
That'll
the
work,
money
I
we
guess.
found.
I-
Each of y'all get $10. We'll pocket 50.
Still, $10 was a good chunk of change back then.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Split 10 apiece between us, give the rest to them, and call it good.
While you guys are back there, I will let you. You can each make a roll. Roll a D8 for your sanity because you did save these people, so it is a boost to you. And you can
Nice.
roll a D4 to kind of heal up if you're injured.
So, I thought we were just gonna look around and not engage anything. I feel like what we did yesterday may have put everything giant target on our backs, and I don't like having a target on my back. So what the hell?
Now, my apologies if it appears that I acted a little off the cuff.
Rash as hell would be the term I'd use, but sure, go ahead.
Well, I fear that some type of devil might be inside of me. I was told that there was a dangerous thing within that train that needed to be taken care of. I heard a voice on the wind as Theodore and I were traveling across the top of the train car.
Uh-huh.
Theo did not hear the voice.
So Simon, you traveled across the top of the car because you heard a voice in your head tell you to do it.
Well, I was initially heading
That's
across
what
the
you just
car to make sure that Declan was going to be safe. But as I moved across the car, a voice informed me that the dangers within the boxcar needed to be dealt with post-haste.
You opened the book, didn't you?
I may have.
God damn.
And in addition, my muse has informed me that I should probably take a good look at the book that you're carrying there in your satchel, Dick.
Yeah, no, that ain't happening, bud.
But look what good came out of.
Nothing good came from any of that.
We rescued 15 people that were on their way to terrible fates.
We did that. But
Some
that was
fine
luck.
detective work, I think.
That was not. No, that was luck. Declan, you know that was luck as much as I. That was not detective work.
No, what I was doing was detective work.
Not
fair.
those people were
That's fair.
saved.
I might have been able to figure out that they were in there. And then we could have gone about doing what we did if we needed to.
I mean, we have multiple problems. Apparently, the least of being, we now have 15 bodies strung across a railroad track somewhere in Louisiana. Which, guess what? It's going to probably raise some eyebrows at some point, no matter what.
As far as I know, from what happens in the South, that's probably regular.
That's not regular in the South. That's not regular anywhere, Simon.
Simon lives in a cutthroat world.
So
It just assumes that there's potties strung across railroad tracks all across the southeast United States.
if we could, going forward, not shoot entire train cars full of people because a voice in your head told you so, that'd be swell.
Well,
Simon will take a moment, his eyes kind of shifting leftward, as though he's either deep in thought or hearing something, and then he will come back and say, I assure you, Dick, that the chances of me shooting a boxcar full of people again is relatively slim.
Or it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be a boxcar, just a room full of people. Just in general, okay? Maybe not a boxcar. Just people. Just a bunch of people.
oh, I was just gonna say that we're relatively lucky stray bullets didn't go in and kill any of the people that we happened to save as well, because we had no idea where they were. So, we're lucky they were there. We're lucky none of them died. And, probably should take things a little bit more one step at a time next time we come across a situation like this.
Agreed. So what's the plan when we get to the end of the road then?
I don't know
From
that I
what
want to be around here to answer questions whenever we come to our final stop.
Well, I guess that's my point, right? Do we get a car? Once we get all these people off the train, jump off at the same time?
That was going to be my question as well. Is it worth just deboarding at the next stop with the individuals we let off and finding a car to drive the rest of the way?
Well, and part of the problem is, too, that we don't know exactly where we're going once we get where we're going, and we no longer have the benefit of being able to trail the folks that happen to be in this car to begin with.
That's
The
true.
The cops
We
are
still got the
on.
Boston cops.
I don't know how much
I'm not-
involved they are, if they're still...
I'm
going
not
to
sure the
same
Boston
place.
cops are going to be going to where they need to be going once they realize those folks aren't on board anymore. They're gonna get.
I mean, we can try to keep an eye on them.
Yeah.
You know, what would really be eggs in the coffee is if we just grab one of these Boston cops, bring them back to this back car, and have a little questioning, see if they know where Igor might be.
I've never put eggs in my coffee in my life.
I mean, I'm actually not against that.
Eggs in your coffee? Why? Why would somebody do that?
Saves a lot of time.
Sounds terrible.
I'm not against interrogating one of the guys.
Oh,
Gonna anger the rest of his friends?
Oh, probably. But what's 4 more bodies, right?
So you want to kill another town
No, I do
boxcar
not.
full of people?
I do not.
Is 4 really considered a boxcar full of people?
That's fair.
No.
It's just
how
a
are
few
you gonna
cops.
Convince that lad to come back here to this car.
Don't you have some of
Simon?
that magical heebie-jeebie business, Theodore? You just...
No, I can't just and make someone do what I want.
Don't look at me.
Well,
Alright, so the witches
If you
won't
re-
do anything. What exactly are we wanting to ask the cop?
Well,
We
I'd
want to
like
understand-
Knows anything about Igor, right?
yeah, knows about Igor, and if he knows where he's going in Louisiana.
And let's play that out. Let's say we get him back here and we're able to ask him some questions. Let's say that he's honest with us. We get all the information we need. Are we throwing him off the train then at that point? Because if we let him go, then he is going to be going and chatting with the rest of his cop fellas. And if we don't want him to do that, you either got to toss him off the train or you got to kill him.
Can leave him hived up in one of the rooms back here. They'll find him at the end of the line.
At which point he'll know about us. None of the Boston folks know we're on the train right now.
They don't. I'm kind of keen on leaving it that way.
Did any of the
Actually.
cultists have masks or anything?
I don't think
No.
so.
Any more of those hooded robes?
I mean, you'd find hooded robes, yeah.
Like, we potentially use one of those to try and hide our faces.
Now, you did not see any of the cultists wearing the hooded robes on the train.
Well, it appears that we're just really behind the 8 ball. Then I say that we let these folks off at the next stop and then perhaps tail the Boston PD at Louisiana and see where they go.
That's kind of my thinking.
It's probably our safest bet. It'd be nice to have a few questions answered, but I think if we follow that through to its conclusion, it's probably going to lead us down a path we don't want to go.
And I will remind you that some of the documentation you found mentioned that Igor is in Knott's Haven, Louisiana. So you
Right,
do
but
have
we don't
a
know
town.
where. We know it's a
Right.
hotel or a motel, resort,
Well,
whatever.
the resort was titled the Whispering Woods and the Talking Trees. Those are names that you've heard, but it's in Knott's Haven as a town. So you do know that there's a town somewhere that this is. So you do have that to try to find your direction. But I will say that through the night, in the middle of the night or so, you will probably have a stop. I don't even know where you guys would actually be at. 2/3 of the way there, whatever. But you did stop. There's a nice little town there. You get the people off, give them their $10 each, tell them not to spend it all in one spot, and to forget your faces. And they get off and they thank you all, and then they disappear into the crowd. I'll say that you guys can all heal at least 2 HP over the course of the next day.
Great.
And you can roll a D8 for sanity again. The train will get there, and you will arrive in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And you will get off the train, and if you're following the Boston PD, is that what you're kind of doing?
I think that's the plan, yeah,
Okay.
at this point.
You will see them. They will head to a place to kind of like a telegraph. I think they had telegraph. Would they have telegraph then? I mean, not that they wouldn't, but I couldn't remember if that was still in use.
Yeah.
All right. So you'd see them head there, and they're going to go in to send off a message. They're in there for a little bit, and then they will get themselves some transportation, and then they'll make a stop at a place and probably get some supplies. So you all will be able to get some supplies and get transportation, and you guys will be on your road following them essentially wherever they're going. Is that the plan still?
Would I have an opportunity, Todd, as they leave the telegraph office, give them about 30 seconds, and then I'm going to rush into the telegraph office really quick. Be like, my apologies, sir. You just saw me in here, I'm sure, with the rest of the gentlemen. We actually needed a copy of the telegraph for our own records. Could I get that from you really quick? We were supposed to keep that to bring back to our employer.
Nice.
Let's see.
I don't know if I need a persuasion or what I need for that, but
He's going to kind of smile at you and be like, oh, man, I don't remember what group you're referring to. Maybe if I had something to jog my memory. And he'll kind of tap his finger.
luckily for you, I just found $10 and I will put it down on the table.
And he'll be like, oh, I just remember that right quick. And he will give you back the message, and you will see, and it will be to, you will see it says to Detective Pike, we've arrived in Baton Rouge getting supplies, and we will make our way to Knott's Haven, and waiting for backup when you all are done in Chaplin to come reinforce us. We'll kind of scope it out. I mean, basically, they're saying they're going to surveillance the resort, and they're waiting for those that were in Chaplin to get done with their business and join up with them to help them take the book.
Okay. I will take that and turn it over to Declan as I come back out.
Well,
So that he and everybody, but I'll hand it to Declan.
I'm glad we don't have to worry about them coming along. So we know that they're alone then, yeah?
That's true. Yeah.
Seems like all of them.
Nice work there, Simon. That was
That's good detective work right there.
that was good. Yeah, I agree. That was good.
No, I'm beginning to learn from the best.
I feel like he walks back into the place, shoots him up, and takes his $10 back.
Holds him at gunpoint to get his money back.
And then you just walk out and be like, telegraph offices, can I shoot people in there? Is that okay? All right, so you've loaded up, you've got a vehicle, and you're kind of traveling and following behind them. So as you're driving, you're actually going to see the Boston police. They get a flat tire and pull over. Theo is doing just fine. Are you going to stay with them? Are you going to pass them? Offer to assist them?
I don't think there's a need to be honest. Like, we know
That's fine.
Pike's not showing up. In fact, their entire thought process behind backup and all of that is just non-existent at this point, because they're all dead or trapped in the Shadow Realm. So
Yeah, if it was a real world situation, I would move on down the road and driving straight until I found like a gas station, and then I would park there and just kind of linger until I see them come by and pass again, and then continue following them.
yeah, I'm good with.
And clipping them is still an option.
Sure.
I can probably clip all three of them as we're driving by.
Yeah, I was wondering if we want Simon to just bang the hammer as we go by.
And then there was one.
Where's your backup now?
And they're like, why the hell we come to Louisiana?
This place is terrible.
Bodies all over the railroad.
I really wish we had like an alligator or something to just like throw out at them as you go by.
Where would we have gotten an alligator?
Where would we have gotten?
We went to a supply store.
Alligator.
We went to a supply store, maybe a pit stop at a pet store.
Need to go down to the bayou and get ourselves a real gator.
Oh my gosh.
Want to make some boots?
Start driving by the police and throwing an alligator at them every episode.
Okay, so are we doing anything to them, or are we just driving by them? Are we clipping
Just driving by.
Just driving by.
making alligator noises or something when you drive by?
Just lean out the window. Gator's gonna get you. Just keep going.
Dingo ate your baby.
Look
though.
at wrong part of the world.
I know, but
Watch out for them gators.
And dingoes, apparently.
Okay.
A mix of a Cajun Scottish accent screaming out the window.
Yeah, for them gators.
all right. So you pass them, and you will get to Knott's Haven. And so essentially, you're driving down the
Look at
road. You've
us.
crossed over a few bridges. I'm just giving you a little bit of look here. This isn't like a fancy map here, but essentially you're going to be coming in, make sure mine's not blocked, on this side of the road, and you'll just be pulling along. As you get here, you see a lot of swamp and stuff off to the north and the south, a little bit in some of the land around you, but you also see some sporadic houses kind of spread out. They're not fancy houses. Some of them look kind of run down. You're not really seeing much activity, and it probably looks like there's maybe a population of around 50 or 60 people in this area. So you can stop if any of these houses if you want to check anything out, or you can just keep on passing through.
Don't just go to random people's homes and search their houses.
I mean, they're random.
No, I don't know if you're going to drive up and hey, knock and see, hey.
Hey, who lives here? All right.
I think
We're looking for this resort place.
I think the first like general store we'll see, or maybe a hardware. I don't know. General store, some kind of store. I'd suggest
need a smoke shop.
Smoke would be great.
Jack needs cigarettes.
Pulling over and asking, where this resort is.
All right.
Or
So,
for directions.
you would probably find. I don't imagine you're not really going to find like a shop per se.
Okay.
You're going to find. I mean, it's just a lot of. There really isn't much there.
Okay.
Now, you may see some places that look like a mechanic shop or something like that, or something that probably stuff is worked on, but nothing that looks like a general store, things like that.
Do we see any people?
No.
Okay. Did the
Any
houses look
cars?
like they did in Chaplin? Run
No.
down, kind of worn.
Well, they are run down, but it's just that this is a poor part of the. You are out. You've traveled out of Baton Rouge, and you're in a very poor part. I mean, there is just a vast amount of swamp around you. There's a little bit. You've been crossing bridges to get across areas, but this is kind of a bigger patch of land that looks like it could be built on. But other than that, there's a substantial amount of swamp to the south of you that stretches out pretty far. You see a lot of just trees and stuff that are pretty heavy. And you'll even see some areas that look pretty not foggy, but just that there's a lot of, I guess it's fog, I don't know, bog or whatever, that it's hard to see off in the distance.
So we see no people.
Right. And from your map, you know that if you travel along this road, you'll eventually kind of leave the area. It looks like there is a path to the north that runs a little more into the swamp, and then there's a path that runs to the south along the pretty substantial swamp area to the south.
But we want directions, and there's not really a shop to stop at. I mean, if we want to stop at a random home, I can go up and knock on the door and see if I can get directions.
Might be our best option.
I think we're gonna have to.
What was the name of it? It's the what resort?
Knott's Haven.
Knott's Haven is the town. You're looking for the Whispering Woods and the Talking Trees. They're two separate places, but they're part of the same.
So, is this Knott's Haven where we're at?
Yes. You would see a sign that says Knott's Haven.
Oh, okay.
So it's the Whispering Woods and Talking Trees Resort?
Yeah. I will say, you will come to a place, you'll kind of go up to knock, and there's no one there. And as you come, you will actually notice that, I don't know what if you're just going to knock and just kind of wait around to see if anyone answers, or if you're going to try to investigate.
If nobody answers, I'll open the door.
What?
Or try the door.
Yeah. Okay. So
now we're
the door.
breaking and entering. I don't want to hear about killing anyone ever again.
Yeah, B&E is like twice as bad as murder.
I'm a private eye. This pretty B&E's like it's a job requirement.
It's like
You have
50%
to-
of what you do.
Yeah.
With a warrant.
No, he's a PI, so he's,
I'm a PI. Don't get warrants.
They don't get warrants.
Yes, they do.
I mean,
I don't.
Before they go into
A private eye?
a private residence, you can't just break into a residence as a private eye. You can stake people out.
Well, you're
We're not saying
allowed.
it's legal. We're
No,
just
you're not
saying that's what they
it's legal.
do.
I'm just saying that they're not going to get a warrant. You have to go before a judge to get a warrant.
Yeah, that's how you get a warrant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but a
PIs
private-
don't do that. They're not
PIs
cops.
don't get those.
PIs aren't like they're not going to be allowed to get a warrant. They're not law enforcement.
I was law enforcement, but I'm not now.
Right.
so
It's
you
not
got
even.
kicked
It's
off.
not even jurisdiction.
Hey,
Anyway, I
you're
try the
gonna-
door and walk in.
okay. So
I try the door. I do not walk in.
You go up to the door, and as you get closer, you notice that the door looks like it's been kind of banged on. And as you try to open it, the door starts to open, but then it's met as if something has braced it from the inside.
You're just gonna call out, "Hello, anyone home?"
And you hear nothing.
You want to try your sight there, Jack?
Yeah, sure. So I'll.
This is getting real Chaplin vibes.
Yep.
We don't have to explore this residence. We can keep driving.
There's nobody here.
Do we see any movement?
Oh, God.
Oh,
Jesus
So,
Christ.
Can you push
Jack,
that? Is that
this-
legal?
Oh no. Jack, this is.
Oh, Jesus.
I think I have. this
They're
if you
saying
do, you've never
Jesus
gave them to
because
me.
He rolled a 100, just FYI for people. who are
Yeah,
listening.
sorry.
Yeah.
He rolled.
Yeah, I rolled a 100. Sorry, that's what the face was.
This
I
is
need.
This is absolute karma because I had to look this up. PIs have to go through the police to get a warrant. They're not allowed to ever trespass on property.
It's the 20s. They all did it.
No, I don't think anyone said that they were allowed to.
No,
Oh,
that's just part of their job description.
It's part of Jack's
What they
job.
do.
Yeah.
All right. So, I need you to roll me a d6, Jack.
One's either very good or very bad.
You have rolled for you have a sight, but you are in the you actually view the shadow realm, and it's like everything goes black and you are in the shadow realm is all you're seeing. And you're gonna need to make a sanity roll. Oh, nice. You rolled
Hard success with a 39.
39. And so with that, you will just take 3 sanity damage.
Okay.
Plus whatever it is, the cost to cast the spell.
Sight doesn't cost any blood or damage. It's
Does
just
it
the
do
eyeball.
sanity to you?
I think it's sanity plus modifier. Let me
Okay.
look.
So whatever that modifier is, but then you get to add 3 additional to it, or if it says.
Right.
So you all are watching.
Well, it just says critical failure chart.
Okay, yeah. So you'll take the 3, and then since you had the success and sanity, you'll just take 3. As you're watching, you see Jack do his customary thing, smash the eyeball in his head, and then you watch him fall to his knees, going whatever he is saying, or whatever's happening to him, and then he kind of, and you come back to, and yeah.
Yeah, so that didn't work like usual.
There, Jet? Looked a little rough.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Theo, why don't you see if anybody's home? You got a cigarette by chance?
Was it a
Anybody?
bad eyeball?
It was a very bad eyeball. I think I need to change up my brine.
Simon's just gonna walk backwards, get off the porch and off the steps and start smoking a cigarette.
Do I still have my shadow with me at this point?
No, it would be gone.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk out into the yard, like into the road, and just kind of like look up and down the street and like into the town and see if I'm seeing any movement at all.
We see in the windows. Means we're at the house.
Yeah, you can look through. It's really dark inside.
Okay.
And you don't see movement, you don't see anything. And I would say that you can, and it looks like any entrance, if you can see through the window, has been kind of barricaded up. And even the windows, as you look, have stuff put in front of the windows. Some of them windows will be smashed. And
Simon's smoking. He's motioning into the car. He's motioning into the road. It's like, what?
Yeah, I'm not sure anybody's here. I don't know.
And as you're looking down the street, you don't see anyone or...
Is it possible to shimmy the door open enough to see what's blocking it?
I will say that from looking through some of the windows, or looking through the window, you would see like that there's just furniture and stuff piled up. If you go around back and look, it actually looks like someone has hammered nails, or like boards and nails up on the back side of the door. And some of the windows will have stuff piled up, some will have boards.
And none of the windows or anything are broken, like something got into the house?
Some of the windows are broken, like the glasses. It doesn't look like anything got into the house.
So whoever barricaded this place should still be in there.
That's what it's. Yeah.
They should be.
Can we tell what's blocking the door on the other side? Like, if I'm gonna put my head in, see if I can see around the door.
Like, put your head through what? The wall?
You said there's a crack between like the door, and it only goes so far, right?
Oh,
that's what you said.
I would say it goes back like an inch. Like it kind of opens up an
okay.
inch, and then it's meeting resistance. I mean, you could probably try to barrel through it if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my shoulder into it.
All right, make me a strength.
This is gonna go well.
Are you a muscular man?
Hey, it's
Let's
Hey,
learn
yeah,
early.
Really, but it worked.
You hit, and you kind of start to make some progress, and stuff you hear kind of tumbles down and falls, and eventually you are able to break through the door, and you get in, and the house just looks like a mess. Looks like there was a lot of a struggle or something, and you will find that there is a hole in the floor, which it appears something came through the floor, or the floor collapsed or something. You will find some blood in the place, but you won't find a body or anything.
Is there like a burrowed hole in the floor or something?
When you look, you see the dirt, and the dirt. I'll let you let me go back. You will see what looks like some plant growth or something, but other than that, it's just a hole.
Hey, Theo, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Guardians were, there was like a whole nature vibe with those guys, right?
Believe so, yeah.
Huh. Okay. I'm gonna look down the hole.
Yeah, can we see how far down that goes?
Essentially, just drops to the ground. It's not like it's like the floor. The hole in the floor drops to where the ground is level, and there's a little bit of like plant growth underneath the house, but it would look similar to some of the growth around the house. There's just a hole in the floor, not necessarily the ground.
Is there an upstairs, or is this all one level?
One level.
But look at the rest of the house. Check the rest of the rooms. If there, how many rooms are in the home?
I would say about
My interest is piqued.
5.
I'm gonna check them. I'm gonna go
Okay.
room to room.
You're just going to find what you would expect maybe to find in that. I mean, there's nothing out of the ordinary, anything that stands out to you.
No people, no bones,
No people. Nope.
no crazy holes, no poison ivy vines,
Nope.
no poison ivy.
No.
Damn.
While he's searching the house, Theo's going to pull his gun and hop down the hole and take a look underneath the house. I assume
Okay.
this goes down to like a crawl space.
Yeah. You'll look under there, and I mean, all you see is empty space and just the ground underneath you.
I don't see any kind of exit from down here outside the house.
Nope.
Huh.
Well, about that time, Jack would have finished checking all the rooms and he'd have come out and. Well, that was anticlimactic.
Yeah, this place is weird. Didn't see any way for like what caused the hole.
All right. Well, you ready to head out?
As well.
Okay.
So we will head back out to the car where I assume Declan and Simon still are.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there on the hood smoking cigarettes.
I've got a cigar, walking up and down the road, trying to see if I see anyone, which I don't. So, whenever you guys
Zach's just going to come out and shrug.
meander back towards the car to climb in.
Okay. So I'm going to say that you can drive around the town a little bit. You do find some signs that point, and it tells you to go south and to go into the Talking Trees or Whispering Woods Resort. And you'll go there. Are you just going to drive there? Do you want to look around the town more?
I'd like to maybe look around a little bit more. I kind of want to
the nicest looking house in the town.
Right.
What's the nicest looking one?
Yeah. Like
I mean, you're
at it.
pretty much.
You will probably find one that is a 2-story house. It still looks a little run down, but you'll come to it again. It'll be a similar thing, only this one will have like the front doors broke down, and it looks like there was some type of struggle. But you won't find a body. You may find a little bit of blood.
Into the frying pan, out of the fire. So I don't want to go up to the resort. I would suggest we actually park maybe a mile or so down the road and actually walk. Maybe not up the main road, but just walk there just to
Okay.
So you
scout it
want
out.
to trudge
If
a
anybody
mile
else-
through the swamp?
I mean,
Gators.
I
are
don't
gonna
want
get
to. I do not want to go up to that resort. I don't want to drive up to the front door of that place. Personally.
So,
Given that something's
you're-
breaking into these houses, do we want to be traipsing through a forest?
I also feel like, having the car at the resort, if we need to have a getaway, having the car by the resort is better than a mile down the road.
Okay, that's true. I don't disagree.
What is
I don't
what is the
disagree.
Want to
concern?
walk? You can.
Well, I'm curious what the concern is with driving up.
I don't know. Big
So,
swamp thing.
Let
I
me
guess I don't
explain
know.
a little bit.
Something. I'm open to it.
Swamp thing appears.
Wasn't sure if it was something I was missing in terms of like what do we need to be worried about.
No. I don't want to pull up on this place and Cultists and Swamp Thing are standing at the front door. The town's obviously deserted, where the people are dead,
Yeah,
and Swamp Thing ate them.
yeah.
And you want to go traipsing through the swamp.
My personal opinion is Swamp Thing is not in the swamp.
You think it's at the resort?
I think it's at the resort.
Yeah.
So, let me explain what you're going to see as you kind of drive up, because that might inform you better. What you're
Okay.
going to see is that the Talking Tree Resort and the Whispering Woods resorts are two different places. The Talking Tree is actually set out on a dock, which a bunch of shacks built on it, and it's just like almost like a shack town that. I'll say that you found some brochures that explained a little bit about this. That what Igor's vision is a place that anyone could come. People can come and stay at the shack town basically for free, and it is bare necessities. I mean, there's not much there. It is just a place that you can go, and basically all they provide is a roof over your head. You have to take care of everything else. And then there is the actual resort for the people that might be considered that matter. And that will be a big stone building off in the distance. So as you're driving down kind of the south road here, you'll see this kind of dock area, and then you'll see the resort probably about a half a mile or so, maybe a mile down the road. That is a pretty imposing building. It looks like it's about 2 stories, made out of stone, high roof, all of that jazz. And the dock or the Talking Trees is just looks like a pretty crummy place to be.
Mhm.
I say we head to Shacktown.
So there you go. We'll end there, and thank you for joining us for this episode. And we hope that you will like and subscribe to Dungeon Brew, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks. Some guy is gonna have his wife open a suitcase, and there'll be like women's underwear in there. She'll be like, "Honey!" Like they're gonna get
Yeah.
a divorce.
I don't know that
yeah.
I took women's underwear out of any of the suitcases.
I think you picked up some grandma stuff going on back there.
Maybe.
Um,
I was in a weird mood 3 weeks ago.